Hello there, you kind stranger that you have humbly passed onto my YouTube video that I have crafted meticulously in about 5 minutes of making up some stuff that I could talk about, and probably 5 minutes more editing out whenever I fuck up, forget what I was supposed to say. Anyways, there's a lot of reasons why I make YouTube videos now, or why I want to make YouTube videos now, and probably the main reason of that is that I'm bored. I'm genuinely just, a lot of boredom is consuming me. That didn't make sense grammatically, but that doesn't matter, because what it's all about is that I have fun, and really that's what I want to do. I want to have fun on the internet and talk about stuff. Not necessarily important stuff. Don't expect me to be some political activist that will tell you what is good and what is not good, to tell you that Nazis are shit and everybody else is better, which is the objective truth, but that is not what this is about. This is about me talking, like I'm doing right now. Too fast, too much, not really interesting, and maybe one day I'll come back to those videos and find that they were worth it. They were entertaining me for the time where I was supposed to be focusing on university, but I didn't because I'm procrastinating. One thing I should do, and one thing I really want to do, is make promises that I will definitely not keep, because I'm stupid and will most likely forget about them. The first promise is I want to make sure that these videos are not interpreted in any way as serious sources for science, or as discussions based on empirical evidence, because they're not. I might one day make a video like that, or start doing it like that, because I have a big interest in science, but I don't want to make this work. I don't want this to feel like a chore, because to me researching has always been a chore. I just like reading about science, but not actually doing science, if that makes sense to anyone except me. I don't think it does, but that doesn't matter, because what does matter is that I have no fucking idea what this is gonna be. And I have no fucking idea of a lot of topics, so I don't feel like I should talk about them in a scientific manner, but more in a I have an idea manner. I have a thought that has crossed my mind, that has intrigued me, and I want to talk about it. Like, I already have some ideas and some maybe even controversial topics that I want to talk about, but it's just that I want to talk about it. I don't want to sway anyone's opinion with it. I have not a goal of making an agenda louder. I have just a goal of maybe getting people to talk about random stuff that they usually wouldn't. And all of it stems out of boredom, which is bringing me to the topic of this video, this very first video of the channel. In a lot of ways, I've always considered myself a person that gets easily bored. Not in the way that you would usually see, like for example ADHD, where you get distracted easily. I don't. But in the point that I usually don't really know what to do with myself. I have a lot of hobbies. I like making music. I like drawing badly. I even enjoy and dabble into photo editing sometimes. But I like gaming, and I have liked gaming since I was a little child, and I'm saying a lot of "and" here, and I don't know why I feel like this, but I feel like it's getting boring. And it's not the games that are getting boring, it's the me about it that is getting boring, because I don't enjoy the games that are popular. I used to do a little bit of live streaming a few months ago, and I played Minecraft, and I had a lot of fun with it, but I noticed that no one really cares about Minecraft, and obviously I wanted an audience, because you don't live stream so you talk to yourself without an audience. That's not the fun of it. But there were already established streamers, so I was kind of riding on a horse that is, or ship that has sailed. I tried with other games. I tried some indie RPGs, because those usually don't have a lot of viewers, but some people are still interested. And to be honest, it was a big mistake, because I started to think, how can I make viewers? And this kind of has become my problem with streaming and video making, that that is the main concern for people. How do I get more viewers? How do I get people to like this? And how can I make the most money possible? Well, I realized that I was starting to think like that. Even though I didn't make a single penny with the live streaming, I still thought like that, and it affected me, so I lost the fun in it. So now here I am. I make videos now. I got bored of streaming. The boredom that affects everyone is what really interests me, because we all have these hobbies that interest us, or others even, and we try to gain people or build a social circle around these hobbies. And if that is successful, then I have found that I don't get bored of it. I don't get bored of making music because I have people around me who I can show it to, who I can tell about it without feeling ashamed of, hey, I make music. The streaming was a little different. I didn't really want to talk about it with people. I just wanted it to be this thing I do, and that was really it. I didn't want to be known for it. I didn't even want my face to be shown, because I felt like it would make me weird or something. But I'm over that now. So I make these YouTube videos where I talk about boredom and drift off the topic a lot. Back on the topic, this boredom that did not happen with music ever is also the same that happened with gaming. Because I always had people that I would play these games with. And the games that I have, where I have the people, I enjoy them still. I still enjoy playing Minecraft. I still enjoy playing some multiplayer Stellaris with my friends and role-playing our universes out. I love playing the Formula 1 games because there's people who I can talk to who also enjoy it. But the same can't be said for shooter games, for example. I have absolutely no clue why I don't enjoy them like I used to, unless I take into consideration that I have no one really there who I can talk to about these things. Because even though most people play shooter games, most people who play shooter games don't care about the games. They care about the experience of playing them, but they don't care about what game it is. They don't play Overwatch for the sake of playing Overwatch. They play Overwatch because they want that 5v5, I think it is now, experience with different characters. They are not like me getting into the lore of the game and making up stuff and maybe even spend hours reading fan fictions about it. I've never met someone like that with a shooter game. I have done so even with Minecraft, but with Minecraft it's usually YouTubers they make the fan fictions about. I don't know if that's a thing outside of Germany, but here in Germany, where I'm from, it very much is. Fan fictions are still a thing. But with gaming there's a lot of things that play in as a factor to build a social circle around a game. For example, with Minecraft, it is the type of player that you are. Like, I'm a builder myself. I like to build things in survival mode, and if you want to find people and connect with them and build real connections, you just go on Reddit, you find them, you join the server, you talk, you have fun, you play together. With games that are more strategy based, you have that environment where you can role play out a universe in Stellaris, for example, and connect like that. Even with tabletop games, those are like the social game, that because you're literally sitting in front of each other, unless you're playing Uno online. But even with those games that are like indie, you can easily build a social circle, because with indie games, people are more involved in the communities because they're smaller, the communities usually, unless it's Undertale, of course, but they're also more involved in the lore, and that is what I like. I like getting involved in the lore of games. But when you look at shooter games, you don't really get that, because sure, there are different types of players. There's the tryhard who no one likes, there's the noob who no one likes, there's the casual who, again, no one likes. There's not really a difference between those though, because all they do is play the game. They might have different styles of approaching it in the way they kill people, but they don't have a different style in the way they set out the entire game. You can't really build a social circle, in my opinion at least, either, because all you really end up doing is focus on the game, because you can't talk properly or have fun. Of course, there are exceptions for this, like, for example, Team Fortress 2, I think, and even in a way the old Call of Duty games. For some reason, I hear a lot of people reminiscing about the friend groups they have made, but it's not the same extent, and that is what has kind of put me off about shooter games, which already says a lot, because that means that, let's say, 3/4 of all new AAA games with big communities are out of the question, and I only play tiny games that no one cares for, or no one even knows. There's some that I play or have played or absolutely enjoy that do not fit into that criteria, like, for example, Omori. It's quite well known. It's also an indie game, like Undertale, Earthbound inspired. But it all leads to me just kind of feeling stranded in the world of gaming. And again, bored. I just feel bored by how it works, what the state of everything is. I'm losing interest slowly in the entire industry, in the people behind the games, in the stories behind them, in the lore, the characters. The only two games that still have me absolutely hooked are Omori and Minecraft. And with Minecraft, it's a childhood connection, and with Omori, it's a personal, psychological connection. And this boredom is seeping in to the one thing that I've loved all my life. I guess it goes without saying that boredom is a part of everybody. It's what drives us to do things, but it's also an inherent feeling of sadness sometimes. I feel sad about me getting bored with games. I don't want to feel bored. I want to enjoy it like I used to, but I can't. I just don't, and it hurts in a way. And the same boredom is creeping into most things that I do at some point in my life. Except, as I said, making music. I have had phases where I enjoyed talking to people a lot, but I got bored of making like these real world connections. I had a phase where I enjoyed concerts. Actually, that is a phase that I'm in right now, but I also had a phase where I thought it's boring. I have these phases of stuff that I enjoy, and I feel like everyone has it. I think this is not exclusive to me. Like, it's normal, but it's also a weird behavior I don't understand. As a human, I should understand it, because it's part of being human, it's part of being me, so why don't I understand me, if you get what that means? But what I do understand is that it affects me deeply in my behavior and holds me back from trying new things. Trying new things is a part of everybody. It's a thing we do. We're people. We like trying new things, but we don't like getting bored of it, which is why I have stopped. And it's kind of contradictory to me starting a YouTube channel where I've been sitting for, I think it's now over 15 minutes just rambling about random stuff that only I really care about, the topic of boredom. And a first video that is way too long already, because no one will sit through this. But I enjoy it, and I do it because it's fun to just talk, to just say things that I want to say, and they are in my mind. But there's a very big possibility that I never upload this, because I get bored of editing it. I have never edited anything, but I have a lot of things I need to edit out, a lot of breaks. I might not do it. I might put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video saying I decided to not edit it and just upload the raw material, which is probably not a good idea. So if you see this conversation that we're having right now, then I decided to actually edit the video. But just so you know, it was a possibility I would upload the raw footage. And now I enjoy it. I enjoy this. having this conversation with my Logitech camera webcam thingy, and just being myself and open and honest about what I think. Not trying to be funny, not trying to convince anyone to subscribe to me or leave a like and comment, which of course is heavily encouraged anyway. But it's refreshing, and it's these types of things that I didn't do for the last 2 years because I was afraid of not enjoying them anymore, which is the most self-destructive behavior that I can think of. I have basically removed myself from trying new things over the fear that I wouldn't enjoy these things. Are you seeing where the problem could be with that? Because how are you gonna find out if you don't like it if you don't try it? I've realized that now, which is why I'm doing it. I've wanted to do this for a year now, but I was scared of doing it because I didn't know if I was gonna enjoy it or if I'm able to do it. If I'm able to sit in front of a camera lens that is about 0.5 centimeters across and talk confidently like I would to anybody else that I've met in real life. And I'm kind of realizing that that was stupid because I can. I'm just as confident as I'm always. The first minutes were a struggle. They really were a struggle. And I'm sitting here in front of OBS and Audacity making sure that everything is working, and have 2 editor pages open here, notepads, with a script that I've completely ignored because I've realized that following a script is very unnatural and is the exact thing that I wanted to avoid. But I have also realized that not following the script makes me sometimes forget what I'm talking about, which might be really embarrassing when I start editing this. Showtime memory loss. Not very fun. I want to break down the topic of boredom more, but for that I would need to make this what I said I wouldn't, a scientific topic. I would have to start talking with facts, and I don't want to do that because that's not what this is about. I want to talk about what I think of the topic of boredom, and I've covered a lot of it already, but there's another thing that I wanted to cover, and it's linking the boredom to not caring, because I don't think it's the same at all, because I care about politics, for example, but I'm bored by politics. I don't care about, let's say, Harry Potter. Now that I don't care about that. I don't care about most anime, but I'm not bored by them either. So there's not a link between those things, but it sometimes feels like it. Because people are often bored when they don't care about things. And they're not bored when they care about it. Which leads me to think that this could be a common misconception, or a... yeah, you could almost call it a... what is the word for that? I have no fucking idea what the word for that is. It's like a pattern. Yes, a pattern that people think 2 things are linked, but they aren't. Like me, as I said, with boredom and not caring. And what if these topics are more impactful than this one? Things that are linked, but people don't think they're linked. Or things that are not linked, but people think they are linked. Like, I remember a Vsauce video talking about how if something was truly random, we would probably think it is not. Because if you were to get a sequence between 1 and 1 million and you got exactly 999,999, you would probably think that's not random because it's too convenient. But it is random. So algorithms from platforms like Spotify are made less random to feel more random. And if you think about it, a computer cannot even be random because a computer will always calculate something, and calculations just can't be random. That just doesn't work. I'm actually studying informatics, so I know that it doesn't work. You can thank me later for that information that you absolutely already knew. But these links that I was talking about, if they are there or not there, are a problem, because if you think about it, it could also lead to false conclusions that can be dangerous. A lot of times I look back at what I've said a few minutes ago and I realize that it doesn't make sense. And this will probably happen when I'm editing this, but it doesn't matter because it's not supposed to be factual, real, or even right. This video was meant to be a baseline, a tryout, trying things out that I've not done before, and I want to do more in the future to see how it works for myself. I have no problem with people thinking that this video is stupid or that I'm talking nonsense even, because at the end of the day, what really matters is that I enjoy it, because I'm not making money of this. I don't want to make money of this. This is content that doesn't take a lot of effort. In fact, it takes absolutely no effort at all. It's just sitting and talking, literally. It's just thinking and saying what I'm thinking immediately after thinking it without a script. And in a way, it's supposed to be boring. I'm talking to myself, essentially. But it's not. It's not boring. It's actually quite fun. Which makes me think, what if everything that I was thinking about for years now, that I thought I wouldn't enjoy because it's stupid or it doesn't make sense, what if all these things were just like this, actually a lot of fun? Which is a thought I don't like, to be honest. I hate it. I really fucking hate it. But it's a thought that I should have and that I should think about more. Anyway, that's basically all I really have to say about this very specific topic. And it's only supposed to be like a first video, like a slow start that is about maybe 15 to 20 minutes long. I hope to see you again in the future. Goodbye.